Alright, another edition of What the Fuck Happenings in the YouTube Atheist Community and Stickam Fun. I'm just placing another camera over here. Oh, this one's a weird one. His lights might go out, and that one's like infrared or something. So, I don't know. Yeah, some might work. But anyway, I like using a motion sensor for the lights, and it's just getting old, I guess. So it's not working very reliably, and the light turns on and off inconsistently, and it doesn't stay on, and stuff like that. Anyway, recharging my cigarette battery. Gotta fix that, solder it and such. Anyway, happenings. Yeah, still kind of angsty, uncomfortable, which I was last night in Stickam, so it was kind of an awkward, uncomfortable evening. And I don't know whether much is accomplished on some of these nights anyway. It's kind of hard to force the conversation. And, different strokes looking for different folks, or different folks looking for different strokes. That's probably better. So some people want this and some people want that, and can't please none of the people none of the time, kind of thing. So anyway, yeah. So it's hasn't been as philosophical as I would like it to be. God, I'm so tired. That's the other problem. I'm tired lately. Winter. Anyway, but really, yeah. Anyway, more tired than I should be, really. But anyway, it could be just depression. So yeah, that's sort of one of the subjects here. Some Miguel guy or something. I subscribed to him for about an hour, and then I saw another video he made and said, "Oh, fuck this." So anyway, he was pointing out this, he asked Pyro and Matt, thou art that, this basic question about how they deal with the angst and discomfort that comes with philosophicalizing. And I thought Pyro and Matt's answers were pretty disgusting. Basically conceding that, they don't see any problem in the truth. Truth doesn't bother them. Doesn't make them want to throw up or anything. No. It's all good news. Philosophizing is fun. Blah, 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 blah. It's just really silly. If you do any real thinking about life and the world, you're going to run into all the unfairnesses, the horrible brutality that's out there. Things like the Holocaust, concentration camps, you're never going to be able to consume it, be able to put it in some sort of philosophical perspective, the millions of lives, the harsh living conditions, the Anne Frank over and over and over again kind of scenario. There's nothing, you philosophically can't deal with those things. And then as a human being, obliging yourself to think through them and try to find some perspective is in itself going to be unpleasant. So I found Pyro and Thou Art That to be incredibly superficial, frivolous assholes in terms of their responses. They made me want to puke. These assholes. So anyway, trivial jackasses. Superficial, no substance, no depth, no real capacity to feel anything, I would imagine. How empty and silly a person you have to be to say that you pay no price for being a philosopher. You pay a price. You don't do it for free. Stupid, silly answers. Anyway, I don't like people lately. The last few videos I've watched have all sucked. That Like Newman guy left a couple of comments on the video about that stupid, idiotic subject he brought up. About the objective versus irrelevant morality, in my opinion. If morality is going to be something individuals make up, then there's no point in having a brain, no point in having a conversation. It's just ludicrous. The whole point is to attempt to find the right answers, not to pretend there's more than one answer. So there isn't more than one answer, assholes. Especially when there's one victim. But anyway, it's just silly. So he's an asshole. I mean, he's phrasing the argument. He's cheating the argument all over the place. Now he calls it normative ethics or normative morality. I was speaking of morality in the normative sense. What a crock of fucking goddamn shit. Yeah, like there's a normative and an abnormative sense. I mean, it's just that whole philosophical jargon crap. These games, these motherfuckers play with words. Um, like there's somehow they're going to recontextualize the meaning of words because they'll throw something like normative in front of it or behind it. Fuck you. Pussy fuckers. Um, they just can't deal with the real words. Then there was a couple of assholes who made video responses versus being kicked out of the Stickam room last night. And yeah, I could see I didn't have much patience. Look, the John Paul Doran thing is just that I hate to even mention his name because then he'll say, "Look, people are talking about me." Um, he's just such a weasel. He says he's not gonna fucking inject himself, and he injects himself, and now he's gonna make an issue out of the fact that I said, "Get the fuck out of here, asshole. You've lost your privileges. You've done your ragging and your lying. All right, you little motherfucker. So the game is over. You stay the fuck away from me. I'll stay the fuck away from you, you stupid motherfucking cunt." But he won't play by that rule. So anyway, fuck that shit. And fuck all you assholes who continue to watch his stupid motherfucking videos. Fuck you. All right, then there's the Waterman guy. So he comes into the room and he completely misparaphrases, Pyro's video on the idea that we should basically do the not-for-profit business kind of thing, the government model of mass production, and he called it a subsidy. He called it subsidy, and that was this bullshit word right there. Pyro never talked about subsidizing business or the making of pens and then allowing people to buy subsidized pens. No, it was about allowing people to buy pens produced by not-for-profit companies, instituted and constructed and formed and paid even by government. And that there's rational sense in taking advantage of those, of basically encouraging people through creating better than competitive pricing, very competitive pricing, and giving people incentive to buy product that doesn't have waste as part of its investment. And that would be stuff that would be consistently priced and be good for people on fixed incomes. But anyway, yeah, and so first he just completely wanted to misparaphrase the argument, talk about something that doesn't exist. And so that was bullshit, because I'm not going to waste my time explaining videos to you that were quite clear. Second, when I recontextualized the argument and explained that it was about not for profit, he continued not to talk about it in that context, and so that was the end for me. I'll argue with you about whether or not government should finance seed money, the creation of not-for-profit corporations that will give people the right to choose a non-commercial alternative, a not-for-profit, a non-owned alternative to corporate America. And I think that is a legitimate role of government, and that's a worthy conversation. And but you were too much of a fucking pussy to have that conversation, so I told you to move along, asshole. But like I said, you came into the room just basically lying, and I'm just sick of you liars, you game players. Oh, that camera went out, but that's okay because the lights have stayed on, so apparently didn't need the infrared. But anyway. So anyway, yeah, it was a trying night. I did see Avatar finally yesterday. Maybe that wore me out. It was pretty bad though. It was just a cartoon, really. It's just a long cartoon. It was just kind of cheap on every level. It was just kind of cheap. I mean, there was some good special effects, but they really weren't great. They weren't the best I've ever seen, kind of thing, or anything like that. And yeah, so it didn't add up to much. I mean, it wasn't any Return of the Jedi, and it certainly wasn't The Godfather or Apocalypse Now. I mean, the story was kind of lame. The whole thing looked kind of you know, it did. It looked like a cartoon. I mean, they didn't look real. I mean, they did look kind of fake. You know, they didn't even look like the gecko lizard. I mean, even he looks a little more like the real deal. Now the light goes out. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. Oh, okay. But anyway, um, but yeah, it was just a shitty movie on so many levels. I mean, shitty for a movie that cost so much to make. I mean, really, they should be able to do better for hundreds of millions of dollars. Um, and it was nothing as the story was just kind of silly. I mean, it all came down to, it's like they even just, even though the whole Gaia Earth against corporation mentality part of the story, which is in almost every sci-fi movie now made. I mean, even the last Aliens movie was full of that shit. Um, I mean, even if that was a legitimate thing to pursue and make and to make as part of the storyline, they're not even true to that. Because in the bottom line, they always have to create some kind of personal conflict between people. So in this movie, they created the little Schwarzenegger army guy, Indestructo, who is indestructible. It doesn't matter. Plane can explode. There's all kinds of. He always has a way out. Um, until the end. When he finally gets killed, but he's this indestructible enemy kind of thing. It was just so cliche, but yeah, they create that so they can have all these little battle scenes, and it was just a lot of these little battle scenes, a lot of these, and it's just sort of trivial, and the love story was really thin, and didn't have any real weight, substance, whatever. And like I said, the whole rest of it, everybody looked like a cartoon. They look like they belong on Easter Island or something. I mean, it was just, maybe that's where they filmed it, Easter Island. But anyway, that sucked. So I shouldn't do a movie review in the middle of this video. There probably is other stuff. There's been some political stuff, WikiLeaks talk and stuff, and I'm sorry to you people who are pissed off that I don't give a shit about these subjects. Um, but this WikiLeaks and this kind of crap, it's not going to fix what's wrong with our political systems and everything else. There's this little I gotcha crap, this little letting cheaters fix the cheating problem is bullshit. So right there, it doesn't make you don't encourage people to break trust to demonstrate people who have broken trust. I mean, it's this lying to stop liars. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. So on that level, I don't like it. And just as a practical matter, the political system needs to impose accountability. And I got youing 1 out of 1,000 of these guys isn't going to get us anywhere. We have to force the system to be open source, more public, more opaque to public inspection. We have to make that. We have to win that political argument. And so until there's political reform and election reform. Until judges have to be honest and take polygraphs. I mean, all these little things. Until those things are fixed, that this little place where people can, violate other people's privacy, basically, and trust, is not going to solve the problem. So fuck it. It's not a subject I give a fuck about. And that's why I don't comment on it, because I don't find it very interesting. So, fuck the nags. Anyway. And let's see what else is there. Yeah, there just isn't much interesting conversation. I have seen To Be Serious is making a lot of comments around. I don't think she's made any videos though. But every now and then she just throws in some sort of crap about, oh Gary, I don't find him some other kind of bullshit. And it's like, oh, why don't you just shut the fuck up then? But anyway, it's just these people. They just demand my attention for whatever reason. Like Graytex and the rest of them. But anyway, he hasn't said anything in a while, I don't think. But anyway, yeah. Well, anyway, that's enough. Yeah. So I've been in a pretty poor state of mind for the last week, and so maybe it'll continue for a little while because I obviously don't feel a whole lot better. But anyway, we'll see where it goes. I mean, there's nowhere to go, so we'll just transition into something else that motivates me, or whatever, or who cares. Fuck. Till next time. And such.